This is the uranium sector review for October 22nd, 2018. So let's take a look at what's going on in the URA ETF from a monthly perspective. We're seeing a lot of consolidation right now, and so far this candle does not look good. I'll be honest with you guys. We couldn't break through that middle Bollinger Band when we thought it was likely headed that direction, but right now what we're looking for is to find a little bit support at that 40 RSI level that served as support in times past. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at the weekly. The weekly, it's got this bullish formation here, but every time it's been hitting this downward trend line, it's been falling back. So far we've got some positive higher highs, or rather higher lows here on RSI. Will we finally break out? I believe we will, but it might be a couple more weeks to see what happens. Here's the URA from a daily perspective. Still consolidating basically between 1180 and 1475. You see this decline. We called this decline here when we saw some divergence on the hourly charts. Now let's see what happens when we're at that 1250 support zone. It coincides with this RSI level where we broke out last time. That's where we are right here. If it holds, that's bullish, and we likely head higher towards 1450. If it can't hold, then ultimately we go down to around the $12 zone for further support. On an hourly perspective, what we're seeing here is a double bottom with positive divergence. That's a very good sign. We're also finding support at the previous rally here where the RSI really took off. So I'm liking the odds of a rally here. Notice that PPO is curling towards a break above zero. So I think we're going to see a rally. Whether it's sustained will remain to be seen. So let's look at some of the names in the sector in no particular order, actually alphabetical order. And so we'll start with API Energy. It's been consolidating for a long time here. It's pulled back as we expected it would. We couldn't break out 70. We hit resistance at that last breakdown point, and so now we're correcting. Now notice 50 RSI has not held, and if it cannot recapture that on a weekly time frame, we might see lower price point. Notice PPO is below zero. That's not a positive sign, so we may be pulling back, possibly as low as 10 cents if we can't recapture that 50 RSI. Blue Sky Uranium. So this one's still in this bullish consolidation pattern, but until this breaks on the weekly, this is still in a downturn. Now this looks like a cup and handle here, so eventually when this breaks out, this move can be very powerful. I noticed that there is continued positive divergence on RSI versus price. I like this upward trajectory here, but we want to see it break above 50 on the RSI. Cameco, major player in the space, obviously had this bullish move. Look at the volume on the up move. We've had 3 consecutive down weeks, but look at the volume, decreasing every week. So this looks to me like a bullish flag over here, and ultimately I think this resolves itself to the upside and breaks above 13. If you're not long right now, I would wait to see it break above 13 to confirm. On the other hand, this is a good bottom play with a stop loss below the middle Bollinger Band at 1093. CanAlaska Uranium, this one has not been able to hold above 50. That's not a positive sign. This might pull back towards the 20-cent zone as well. But keep an eye on the volume. It's been very low volume, so maybe this is just a shakeout as this heads higher. So I don't like the fact that we're below the 50 RSI, but let's see how this week closes. Deep Yellow, another one of these consolidating stocks here. We did break out above 70, but we couldn't hold it, and now it looks like we're really falling. If we can't hold the 61 level, then the next target is a 50 RSI and likely further downside in price. Denison Mine. So you'll notice that in previous videos several weeks ago, we saw a lot of the major players actually looking weak, and a lot of the penny stocks actually breaking out. And what we're going to see here, led by Denison and Cameco, is the actual majors, or not majors, but the larger juniors look strong, whereas the penny stocks look like they're pulling back. So this is a nice pullback here. You've got support at the 50-week EMA at 52 cents, and we're finding support here above the 50, and I think this is going to resolve higher, ultimately break that 200 EMA at 70. So I like Denison here. Encore Energy, another one of these that looks very, very strong right now. This is a great place to enter with a stop loss below that 10-cent zone, with a target really of above 20. If this breaks above 70 RSI, and it looks like it's headed that way, there could be some really nice upside. Energy Fuels, another one that's found some support at the 50, and it's bouncing off the middle Bollinger Band. I think this one's going to take off very, very soon. It's likely going to make a run towards that 4 to 5 zone. So I like the upside here. Fission Uranium, FCUUF, below 50 on the RSI. Don't like that. So keep an eye. If this breaks back above 50, that's positive. If it can't close the week above the 50 RSI level, then I would stay away from this name for the time being. Forces Metals, like the move so far today, closed above on the weekly so far, above the 200-week moving average at 25 cents. That's very positive. Found support at that very crucial 50 RSI level, which coincides with the breakout point from 10 cents. So if this can hold, this is a very, very positive development in Forces. Okay, gold mining. So obviously the name seems like it's a gold play, but actually they have a very, very nice uranium mine here. So this is a uranium play in addition to a precious metals play, and it's breaking out here. Notice the downtrend since middle of 2016 has been wiped out. Well, actually the downtrend since the 2018 has been wiped out. This downtrend since 2016 has not yet been wiped out, but with PPO breaking above zero, I really like to look at this. If this can break and close the week above the 40 RSI level, which coincides with this last breakdown, this can have a very, very strong move. I can see like a 25% move in a day. So stay tuned. I like this gold mining stock right now. Gavix Uranium. So this one broke out of this downward bullish wedge. Now it's consolidating from the upside. I like this risk reward here around I would say about 16 cents and above is positive, but at the same time, unless RSI breaks back above 50, I'm not touching this one from a longer term perspective. Laramide Resources. This one's holding the 50 RSI. It's consolidating above this breakout zone, so I like the risk reward here. Basically above 30, it's a buy. Below 30, if it consolidates above this trend line, that's a good buy point as well. Next Gen Energy, it's consolidating but below the 50 RSI, so I don't like the way this one's acting. But again, I think ultimately this ends up, resolves itself higher, but this could still pull back to the 178 zone if uranium continues to show short-term weakness. Sky Resources, another one that has had a really nice run, but it's pulled back here. And it's closed. It's so far this week is below the 50 RSI. If it can't close above it, I would consider exiting at least the trading position and wait for a re-entry here. UEX Corp. This one looks like a nice bullish flag here that's forming. It's had a very, very interesting volume candle here when it really rallied. So there was a lot of selling pressure. But despite lower lows in price, you're seeing that momentum is holding firm above that 40 level. So with PPO curling above towards a break above zero, there could be some nice breakout here at some point in the not too distant future. Your Energy, URG, I think that there's setting up for a nice rally with RSI basically bottoming at the previous breakout points right around that 38 level, but at the same time it's below 50, and so I don't like names that are trading below the 50 on the weekly RSI. Uranium Energy Corp, again, this is another one that I think could rally here. This is the last time we rallied from 96 was right around here. So you found support multiple times, and we're curling back towards this area. If we can break above this 40 zone, I think that this can set up a very nice rally. But until it breaks 140, I don't think that this is a technical buy point. Western Uranium, it's pulled back some from its 270 highs, went all the way to 159. I said it could hit 120. It didn't quite get there. Still think it may. But if it breaks back above the 70 and above 220, that's a new buy entry. And if it doesn't break above 220 and can't break above the 70 RSI, I do expect it to retest that 120 zone. So let's see what happens on this one. Westwater Resources, again, don't like this company. It seems like management just dilutes shareholders like crazy. I am seeing some positive divergence, but until this downward trend line breaks to the upside, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this uranium sector review. Please do follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and share with your network. I really appreciate it, and I'd love to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so that could be you. Thanks, and have a great week.